All right, so a lot of us have this idea that our work should be meaningful, right? It should be something that gives us purpose, that sort of organizes our life in a certain way. And it's obvious why we think this, right? We're going to spend over the course of our lives a ton of time at work. Maybe most of our waking hours are going to be spent working or thinking about work or doing things that get us ready for work. And so, of course, if you find your work monotonous or repetitive, if you think there's just no purpose that's being served, you're not going to enjoy your life. You're going to burn out, or you're going to think like this is just a bullshit job in the very technical sense, right? Okay, but I want to ask a deeper question. And one of the reasons I want to do this is because our contemporary attitudes about meaning and value and purpose in work are really sort of historically contingent. For a long time, people thought, well, work is what you do to survive. It's what you do to provide for yourself and your family. But your meaning, your value, all of those things come from your faith or your religion or your community. They come from things that are, more or less outside of the sphere of work. Okay, but we have this very particular contemporary attitude about work, and I want to investigate it. And here's how. So I want to ask, not just should you seek some meaning or purpose from work? The answer to that is obviously yes. But should work provide what I call ultimate meaning in your life? An ultimate meaning, the way I'll define that is, something is ultimately meaningful if it is the main source of meaning in your life, right? If you are a football player and nothing else matters to you, you just want to play football, you want to win football, you want to study football, okay, that is providing ultimate meaning in your life. The question is, should work be like that? I think there's sort of two ways to come at it, right? On the one hand, you might think, well, yeah, of course work should be like that. Here's an argument. We need a source of ultimate meaning in our lives. Work is the best candidate for ultimate meaning, so your work should be ultimately meaningful in your life or should provide this kind of ultimate meaning. It's a powerful argument, right? A lot of people sort of look around and there just aren't many candidate sources for ultimate meaning. Yeah, friends are great, but I don't have this community that provides me with this identity and purpose in the world, right? Okay, so maybe work is where we can get that. Okay, but here's another argument, an argument against the idea that work should provide ultimate meaning for you. Work, whatever it is, no matter how stable it is still highly contingent, right? In many different ways. You might lose your job, right? I mean, that's one way it can be contingent, but even if you don't lose your job, you might sort of find yourself where your company reorganizes you, or some competitor takes over. And the thing that you thought your purpose in the world depended on, right? Like selling iPads to everybody in the nation, something is just going to change radically. Suddenly the company is not interested in doing that. They're interested in doing something else. Okay, so there's so many contingencies when it comes to work that if you invest your ultimate sort of meaning, purpose, identity in your work, then you are bound to be disappointed and disoriented over the course of your life. So just in the same way that say you're investing in stock, you want to diversify your portfolio. You don't want to sort of concentrate risk in one area. You might think in your life, you should also diversify the sources of meaning, or you should make sure that the source of meaning that you're latching onto, that you're picking, that you are betting on with your entire life is something that is not as highly contingent as contemporary work seems to be. Okay, so there's an argument for and there's an argument against. One of the interesting things that we get to do together is to really pick these apart, right? And to ask in our own lives, which one sort of is truer to our experience, right? And what are the conditions under which the premises in each of these arguments actually hold? So that's just the hard work, but also the fun work that we get to do when we're doing the philosophy of work.